Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, as they square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their Pro Bowl quarterback in his 8th season now in the league, Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Starting lineup time for the offense. What about Dwayne Brown, my friend?
Remember when we were kids and you wanted to make sure you had the big guy next to you all the time because you needed a bodyguard? That's Dwayne Brown at left tackle. He protects his quarterback so well as provides great access in the running game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. But look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 18 carries, 69 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first, but they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. but they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. On second down, it's Carson, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, this one into the hands of Metcalf. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 yards there, first down. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And that's incomplete. Chris Carson, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Carson, and he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. After the interception, here's Jackson, forced out to his left. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year, led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jet Rush coming, and he's taken down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. It's caught by Mark Ingram. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. Throwing is Jackson.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down now, it's Carson, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he locates Luke Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the delay, here's Carson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 5 now. Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. That time a 6-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has... And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now Wilson on first down. It's caught. Block it. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the game there.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and that'll bring up second down. To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. To throw again is Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now it's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Draw play. This is Carson. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. 6 plays got them down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Chris Carson. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Jackson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's going to go down again. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was the Bengals who were able to pick up the victory at home. Andrew Luck, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Miami Dolphins. Josh Allen leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for the venerable one, Drew Brees. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Jackson. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big, big game.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. This one complete to Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Now Myers for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Set, hut, 6 yards, 54, line 54. 3 bird.
Jackson on first down. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
This is Carson, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Myers' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if we can drive the bus here again on this drive. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Jackson being chased out left. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Jackson now, buying time to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw is Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nick Boyle, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
John Harbaugh thought about it, and now his guys are going to go for the 2-point conversion. Now it's Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. 20. 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing. The interception, if he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now it's Wilson. That's going to be caught by Nick Ballore. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Wilson. Short throw to Disley. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Carson, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Oh, fighting off the defender. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Jackson dancing to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Well, a 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Now it's Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Looking to throw. Jackson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Jackson throwing again. Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Looking to throw. Jackson into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They run it with Carson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 7, 70 seconds remaining. Their undefeated season, it's in danger unless they can score here as they've got a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
We got this.
Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing, and keep in mind 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson being chased out left. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. Back to throw.
All right, they picked up yardage, but they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it. They've got 1 timeout left, want to save it.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
The defense are going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the 1st half of the season.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, You're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them inbounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Dancing to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. On first down, he'll drop to throw. This is caught. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Ravens, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.